Good evening, Nintendo fans! How the heck you doing? My name is Amiibo Jason, and welcome to a live episode of the Nintendo Wiretap. That's right, we're back again, live. And it's always good to be back, especially because I have one of the most talented men in the business, the one, the only, Ricky Berg. Ricky, how you doing?
Me! I'm doing good. How are you, Jason?
I'm doing okay. It's been a
Doing
roller
okay.
coaster ride of a day.
Mm-hmm.
So again, and I want to mention this right now, right off the bat. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate has leaked. There is gameplay footage everywhere. The bosses, the music, World of Light, cutscenes. It's all out there. We are not
Everywhere.
discussing any of that tonight. None of it.
Yes.
We
None of
are
it.
here to hype Smash, to talk about our experience with the game, because we played it for 4 straight hours. Well, technically like 3.5, because we had a delicious lunch.
Ooh, tasty.
It was very, very good. I think I had the pizza. And honestly, we don't want to spoil the game. So, right off the bat, before we get started, we are going to discuss what we got to essentially play. The footage that's gone up on our site so far, we're going to talk about all of that. We're going to look at Classic Mode, we're going to look at Spirits Mode, and we're going to look at World of Light. But besides that, no cutscenes, no music, nothing that hasn't been officially released by Nintendo. Sound good? Ricky?
Sounds good to me.
Do I have
I'm all on board.
your absolute word that there won't be spoilers?
You won't hear a thing from me.
All right. So let's start with our journey first. So I'm in Wisconsin. Happily Candy's in Wisconsin. We flew from Wisconsin to New York for an event with Nintendo to play 4 hours of this game. Ricky, what was yours? Where did you go from?
Let's see. I went from one part of California to another part of California to Texas, all the way to New York.
Got it.
And met up with you guys at this event. And there we were. And we got to play for 4 hours Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. I believe they said near final build. They didn't say final build. But it had all the characters, everything up to and including Ken and Incineroar.
Yep.
It had every stage was playable. That includes Dracula's Castle. Everything was here as far as we could tell.
Yeah, and on the screen right now, I mean, we have footage. This is our gameplay footage. I think in this video, I'm Incineroar, and you were playing as Simon Belmont.
Yep.
I just absolutely sucked playing Incineroar. He is not my character, and I'm going to get into that in a few moments here. But every piece of gameplay you're going to see tonight is original gameplay from Ricky and myself. And Happily Candied even makes an appearance in one of these videos as Isabelle, so stay tuned for that too. But what do you want to start with? Do you want to start with Classic Mode? Do you want to start with just the characters? I'm gonna leave this one up to you, Ricky.
All up to me. Wow.
All
well,
up to you. Wait. How about we talk? Why don't we ask our chat real quick?
Let's ask them. They're here.
There's like a 15-second delay, so we'll kind of keep that in mind too. We can talk
Sure.
about a lot of things tonight. What do you guys want to hear first? Do you want to talk about Classic Mode, World of Light Mode, or Spirits Mode? One of those three.
And remember, we're not spoiling anything here. This is just going to be based on our time with the game. But yeah, we got to do quite a few things.
Yeah. So we'll give it a couple seconds here because, again, I think that we are on a bit of a delay. So we already have one for Classic Mode. We have some people asking us to notice them. Cookie Boy, I notice you. Calm down, buddy. I see you. I see you. We got characters, World of Light. Oh, man. Characters, Classic, World of Light. Talk about Spirits. World of Light.
They want to know everything.
Okay. I think World of Light, I think, has the most. So
Sure,
let's
we'll
go
do World of Light.
All right.
Sounds good to me.
I'm going to click the World of Light button. There's no going back from here. Once again, the footage that you're about to see is from World of Light that we captured directly from this Nintendo event. It's 5 minutes of footage on a loop, so keep that in mind. There is a very limited number of minutes of footage that we can show you from this mode. So, if you're seeing the same thing kind of over and over, that's why. World of Light started off with that amazing cutscene that we all saw. With some very, very minor differences with it. And I'm gonna see if I can rewind this video just a little bit. Because right there, it's subtitled. So not only did we get the cutscene, but there was subtitles in the very bottom that kind of explained what was going on inside of the story. It gave a little bit extra context.
Yes, it kind of explained, like, one, it tells, like, oh, they stood and they faced the forces of whatever, and it's like, it kind of narrates as well as covers anything that's spoken.
Yeah. So, again, that's pretty much how everything ended up starting. There's no additional FMVs that we saw. So
None.
There's nothing that we're going to be able to spoil as far as kind of FMVs from World of Light. But from there, essentially what you're seeing on the screen right now is what happened next. The game board opened up. We had our very first fight with, what was it, Smoky Prog?
Smoky Prog, yeah, which you see
Prog?
it.
What is Smoky
It's
Prog?
from it's an enemy from Pikmin. It like you see it possess Mario during the cutscene.
Yeah.
The original debut, and that happens here. So it's the first thing you face. It's
Sure.
still in Mario, but yeah, it's in this it shifts to metal. But then you go through that one, it moves on to the next fight, which I believe was the Yoshi one, the Eevees.
So after Smoky Prog, we had the Yoshi thing, and this was one of the most interesting things, I think, from it. And this is really what Spirit Mode and World of Light is really all about. I'm going to let you explain this, though, Ricky.
Sure. So once we saw that it was Yoshi, and we saw that it was themed to the Eevee spirit.
Yeah.
At first, I'm just like, wow, that's an interesting mix. Not like a Pokemon, nothing like that. But then you see that it's 3 Yoshi. One is blue, one's yellow, one's red. And then they're coming in one at a time. They all have Tanuki tails. They toss a Pokeball immediately that makes an Eevee come out. And then the yellow one shows up. It's got the screw attack. Red one shows up. It's got the super spicy curry. It's like, oh, it's supposed to be Vaporeon, Jolteon, and Flareon. I'm fighting the Evolutions. And that's like, Spirits Mode and World of Light are full of all these little nods. They discussed it and they showed it plenty, but it's like seeing it and seeing just how kind of out there they can be and how they can fit pretty much seemingly anything in.
Yeah.
It's a real treat. Like
so the next one too. So obviously, like everything in Spirit Mode and everything in World of Light is essentially taking the characters that already exist in Smash Brothers and doing their best to make it seem like there's something else. So we saw it with, like you just mentioned, with Yoshi's acting like they're the Evolutions. We saw Rob the Robot, who had like this insane laser beam. It was an overpowered laser, and he was essentially going to be the Guardian, so he was possessed by the Guardian spirit. So I like what they do there. I like that the way that you need to unlock characters is first you have to go through all of these very familiar characters with these twists to it. And we're going to get to it when we get to when we get to Spirits Mode, but Swanky Kong is like my favorite example of this. It's
you just
absolutely
love that Swanky Kong.
I do. I love Swanky Kong. Swanky Kong's the best. But Spirits Mode and World of Light are intertwined. They are very, very much similar. I mean, both have spirits, which is kind of a given. But it's really, the two are definitely intertwined. And then within World of Light 2, there was a skill tree. And Ricky, can you explain the skill tree a bit?
Yeah, sure. As you go around the map or you finish fights, you get these kind of, I'm trying to remember what they were called. They're maybe spirit cores, something like that.
Yeah.
But you use them, and it's a pretty standard kind of skill tree, but there's 2 paths right from the get-go. Then you can start filling them in using the total amount of the cores.
Yeah.
And as you go through, like, they're pretty standard fare. There's stuff like, oh, your tilt attacks are stronger. Cool. Or maybe you resist knockback a little bit. But then you start seeing ones like charge smashes indefinitely, or resist knockback when you're dashing.
Yeah. I'm going to rewind a bit here to see if I can pull that skill tree back on the screen when you're talking about it. All right, go for it.
Yeah, so there's a ton of customability, if that's even a word, to World of Light. And it applies to, I believe, all of the characters at the same time. It's not like, okay, this is my villager skill tree, this is my Kirby skill tree. It's You have your skill tree and you fill it out as you like, and by the end of this, you're going to be super strong.
Yeah.
You're going to be stacking spirits on you, so that's even more customization.
I think I said something like it reminds me of the spear grid from Final Fantasy X. I know it's different, and I know that skill trees are a thing in games, but it's like the first thing that kind of came to my mind when I saw it. And it's so radically different than like what I've seen like in Smash for Wii U. I really like that it's giving us the option to like customize our characters in a way that kind of we see fit. But at the same time, too, you know that we're going to just max this thing out at some point and just have a completely overpowered character.
But then that's the beauty of it with the spirits and everything, which are now the more that I thought about it, I'm just like, oh, this is what they wanted stickers to be back in Brawl. And I say that in the best way because it's like they're easy collectibles, but they also can slightly affect how you play.
Yeah.
I think spirits are more drastic, and again, we'll get into that a little later when we're talking more about spirits in particular. But you can really tailor make yourself for each individual fight as you go, or you just slap on the recommended to keep things moving. So either way, you're going to be able to have a lot of fun with this mode, I feel like. I mean, I had fun with just the time that we spent playing it.
Oh, for sure. And I think the big thing to keep in mind about World of Light is that it is a game board. It looks like kind of an old school game board. And every single piece of this game board, every time you move, it either is like something that you have to accomplish, unlocking a different character, something like that. I'm going to see if I can kind of fast forward a bit to kind of like the themed areas of the game board. The first area that we ran into outside of like the standard like beginning place was what appeared to be a racetrack. And I'm going to pause it right here. We see an Excitebike spirit right here. We're actually in an F-Zero car kind of running around like this gigantic racetrack. All of the spirits that we encountered in this were either based on like F-Zero. We had, I don't know if there was Mario Kart in here, but I saw, what was it? Mach Rider? Mach Rider
shows up. Yeah, you fight on the Mario Kart track a lot. You fight on the F-Zero track a lot. You actually have to get, I think, the Pico Spirit to be able to get into his F-Zero racer to move along. So it's like there's certain locked sections where you need to get a particular spirit. There was your boy Nico Fire from what was it, the Street Pass Me Plaza racing
I totally
game.
forgot about that guy.
Right, because he's Nico Fire.
The obscurity of so many of these characters.
Right.
The spirits are like a gamer's dream come true. If it's a retro game or something from your childhood, chances are there's going to be a spirit of it. It's so incredibly it's exciting just thinking about it. And from what we understood, and we're going to get into this a bit more too, it sounds like there's going to be over 1,000 spirits in the game based on what we heard from the guy who's running our demo. So
that's just a maybe, everyone. That's just a maybe, but it's like it's not hard to see happening once you get your hands on to spirits.
And again, keep in mind, we are not discussing any leaks, no spoilers, anything outside of what we knew and what we heard from the event that we attended. So anything else that you want to touch base on within World of Light? I do want to point out one thing before you actually you finish that.
Okay.
We played for about, 30 or 40 minutes?
Sounds about right, yeah.
In 40 minutes, we unlocked 3 of 70 characters.
Mm-hmm.
This game is going to take an absolute insane amount of time to complete. And that makes me incredibly happy. Not to mention the amount of time it's going to take to get the spirits where you want them to be. If you're a completionist, and I'm slowly starting to turn into that.
Good.
These modes are going to be absolutely insane if you're looking to just, sit down and complete everything. I would guesstimate hundreds of hours. Hundreds of hours of gameplay for this.
For Smash at large, absolutely. For World of Light, do keep in mind that part of that was us like in the menus, kind of toying around with spirits. So you can, if you don't want to be thinking about like, oh my god, I have to spend that much time playing this, I just want to play through and see how it ends and all that stuff.
Oh, I'm talking like just total completionist. Like if you're a completionist, if you want to get through it, I'm guessing you could probably do it in a day.
Yeah, and you can quick fire the spirit equipment, which is, I mean, I'm glad that feature's there, but I want to pick my spirits pretty much every time because that's fun to me. The only other thing I really want to point out is that you're talking about kind of like unlocking characters and almost replayability in a sense.
Yeah.
Well, there's branching paths here too that block themselves off once you commit to a certain one. So there is going to be sort of like going back around and checking things out again, and almost
Yeah.
like choosing like, okay, well, I'm at a fork. I need to decide which way am I going to go, which character am I going to pick, that kind
For
of
sure.
stuff. Yeah, I like that a lot. There was a part where we had to choose between, I think, gosh, it was Marth, Sheik, and Villager to know which way we were going to go.
Yeah.
And once we picked one, and once we unlocked that character, it was just like, oh, you've committed. You can't go and get those two.
Yeah.
You'll get them later, probably. But I like it. It's like picking your starter Pokemon.
Yeah, I totally agree. And again, I think there's going to be, if you want to complete everything within World of Light, my guess is a bare minimum of like 4 or 5 playthroughs. Which again, I think that's pretty standard for a lot of games. But I'm excited that it's not going to be like an experience. That's just going to be done. Like, it's going to be something I can come back to and just kind of play over and over again. But it was fun. It was an absolute blast to play. I'm excited to see what more it has to offer. But again, we had 40 minutes of like playtime with this. Not a lot more really to say about World of Light, unless I'm totally missing anything, Ricky.
No, more of like basically with how much overlap there is between it and Spirits. We'll get into anything that we didn't cover in the near future. But that's pretty much the brunt of what we experienced. It was a lot of fun. I mean, I'm all about it because Kirby's your starting boy, and I want to see how he saves the day.
There you go. And again, Ricky, sometimes I call you Kirby. I don't know why.
I get that from a handful of people.
But there you go. That's World of Light. We have 3 more things to talk about tonight. We have Spirits. We have just our general thoughts. And then we have Classic Mode, which I'm really excited to hear about too. I do want to point out something. And Ricky, I know you can't see me right now, but I did get something early. I did get a little something early. I'm not sure if you even know that I have this yet.
Ooh.
I'm going to lift it up, and you need to pretend like you can see it, because you can't actually see me right now. But
I'm going to see it on a delay.
I do have the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Pro Controller right here in my hand.
What?
Ricky, look at it. Can you see it? It's beautiful, isn't it?
What? Yeah. It's a controller for Smash. It's black and white. It's Pro.
Now, I even left this on just for the audience, because people like to watch like people ripping plastic off of new things. So I'm gonna do this. Just for you guys, taking off that initial piece of plastic. I do like this Pro Controller quite a bit. This was imported from Japan, which is why I have it early. They got it for some reason about a month before it came out, at least in the US. But it's a very, very fine controller. I also have one other controller that I do want to show tonight, and this is going to be one that you're going to see a video on us kind of discussing in the next few days. This is the PowerA wireless GameCube controller.
It did show up.
No, I actually had to go and buy this.
Oh.
So I went and bought this yesterday.
Yeah.
So if more do show up, awesome. But if they don't, that's fine. So we're going to be essentially, when Smash does come out, we're going to have a comparison of what the best control style is out of all of the third-party controllers versus the Joy-Con and the standard Pro controller. But again, we're going to be showcasing a lot of stuff about the amount of like control options that Smash Ultimate is going to have. But once again, if you guys wanted a first look at the Smash Ultimate Pro controller, there you go. That was a nice little ad break before we start talking about anything else tonight. Ricky, what do you want to do? Do you want to do Spirits? Do you want to do Classic?
Spirits would make more sense. Classic would be more exciting.
All right, let's save Classic for the end.
Sounds good.
We got the characters coming up too. Don't worry. Happily, Candy's like yelling from the other room, like, "Oh, don't
talk about Isabelle."
No one likes Isabelle. All right, so let's jump into Spirits mode, because I think that's what makes the most sense.
Sure.
We've mentioned this before. Spirits are a massive part of World of Light. They're kind of 2 intertwined modes. You fight spirits within World of Light. Characters turn into spirits. I mean, there's a whole kind of like story arc surrounding spirits. But once again, in case you've just totally zoned out or you're just joining in, spirits are these essentially manifestations of other video game characters other than the main roster of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. So For instance, let's take a look at the board that's up there right now. We have a Hammer Bro. So if you were to select the Hammer Bro character, you might have, who would be the best character to be like attached to the Hammer Bro that you can think? Well, Koopa? King Koopa?
Ooh.
Bowser?
Bowser Jr.
Okay, so Bowser Jr. could be essentially possessed by the Hammer Brothers spirit, and he could gain powers, maybe like just throwing hammers. He could have what else does the Hammer Brother do?
Well, it might make it so that, one, they jump a lot, because Hammer Bros are all about jumping. Yeah. Two, it might make it that the hammer item shows up on the stage much more frequently, and then they always rush to it. It'll probably be on some kind of Mario stage, but probably a Battlefield-esque version of one, so that they have platforms to jump up and around. Basically, they're going to do everything...
a really, really good example, actually, right now. I'm going to pause it right here. Okay.
Sure.
So we have the Urbosa Spirit. So selecting the Urbosa Spirit essentially possesses Zero Suit Samus and gives her many of the abilities of Urbosa. And one of the main things this does is it gives, from what I remember on this, it gives Zero Suit Samus like a massive sword, very similar to what Urbosa had, and it electrifies the entire playfield. So from what I remember, what was Urbosa's guardian or beast?
Her Vonnaboris.
Vonnaboris. So in Vonnaboris, it was the lightning spirit. And a lot of the puzzles and, I think it was Thunderblight Ganon, all of that was lightning based. So we saw Zero Suit Samus kind of take on all of those kind of attributes. And once you defeated her, you could essentially equip all of that if you capture the spirit. I think I did a decent job explaining it, at least I hope.
No, that's pretty much it in a nutshell. It's that they do their best to kind of evoke the spirit of the spirit. So that's why you start seeing like, okay, we'll give her a killing edge. We'll put the stage is going to be electrified. All that stuff. It just, even if it doesn't connect one-to-one, it absolutely calls to mind their, like, the defining moment or something iconic about the spirit itself.
And we had Swanky Kong, which is on the screen right now, and I wanted to mention Swanky Kong because this is a really, really good example of what spirits are capable of. Who would have thought in 2018 that a character like Swanky Kong would be included in Smash Bros. Ultimate, but he is. So essentially, if Swanky Kong is possessing Donkey Kong, it makes it so he's constantly attracted to items. Because obviously Swanky Kong is attracted to bling and very fancy things. So if an item is out, Donkey Kong is immediately going to forget everything he's doing, and he's going to run directly towards that item, as you can see right there on the screen, which I think is absolutely awesome. Because you use it to your advantage. Number one, it could suck for you, because if there's, like, let's say, a hammer on the board, Donkey Kong is going to just do everything he can in his power to get that hammer before you. But at the same time, if there's a really crappy item, Donkey Kong's going to do the same thing, and he's going to try to get that item before you can. And that gives you the opportunity to kick his butt. So you have to take a look at what the spirit has positive going for it and what the drawbacks of that particular thing is as well. And I think Swanky Kong is like the perfect representation of that. And I have to rewind that one more time because I love me some Swanky Kong.
He loves him some Swanky Kong.
I really do. What do you want me to say? Swanky Kong's my guy.
You beelined to that Swanky Kong spirit.
Of course I did. When I saw Swanky Kong on that board, I had to go for it. And I'm going to let you explain the board. In fact, I'm going to rewind because that's kind of a big little thing here that I missed. So go ahead and explain what the board is.
Sure. So the board, it gives you, I think it's like 8, maybe 10 spirits to choose from at a given time. So when they're basically like wanted posters, and they have their 4 difficulties, which that got discussed during the direct itself. But you make your choice, and then it shows you the parameters of the fight, and you'd be like, all right, cool, I'm going to go for it. But they're always on a timer, so it's like once that amount of time is up, a new spirit can show up and fill that spot.
Yep.
And it turns into a situation where... Did you lose me or something?
No, you ducked out for like a second, but I think you're back.
Oh, okay. Hey, everyone!
Welcome back.
As you go and you pick these, they're on a timer. So even if you don't pick it, something else will get cycled in. So you're not always going to have a full board. As you can see, there's like timers that say, okay, in 29 seconds, a new one is going to get cycled in.
Yeah.
But when you make your choice, you get to see what you have to do. You can kit yourself out with all the spirits you already have, get yourself ready, pick the right type, and you just have at it in the fight.
And I do want to point out too,
yeah.
and you can see this on the screen. This is separated by difficulty. So we have novice, we have advanced, we have ace, and I think there's two
legendary.
more. There's
No,
legendary.
just
I think legendary is 5-star. I can't remember what 4-star is, but I think there's 5-star varieties. I could be wrong. It might be 4.
Yeah, no, it's 4.
So it's 4.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's going to be novice, advanced, ace, and legendary. I'm hoping we're saying that right. And obviously for the novice, it's going to be super easy. I think you see that Salsa from... What's Salsa from?
Salsa's from Mother 3.
Mother 3. What's that?
Mother 3 is a game that America desperately wants. Yeah.
Wow.
It's strange, funny, and heartrending.
Shocking.
Uh-huh.
So, I mean, out of the 4 difficulties, we did do one that was 3-star, and I think it kind of kicked my butt, if I remember correctly.
The difficulty on them is also proportionate to the strength of the spirit itself. Yeah. So, like, legendary ones are going to have more pronounced effects than novices by a mile, but it makes it so that when those legends do show up, I think we only saw one on our board the entire time we were playing, and it was like James McCloud or something like that from Star Fox. But we saw plenty of novice, plenty of advanced. So it's one of those things where you see it, you want to go for it. Now, there's also items you can use on that board where you can like cycle out everything at once, or you can fill in the empty spots.
Yeah.
So if you don't see anything you like, if you're willing to use one of those items, it's just like, yep, get them out of here.
Yep. And then once you select your spirit, you have the ability to essentially equip your support spirits. And you can, what is it, 2 or 3 that you can hook up to you?
It depends on the primary spirit. So you pick your primary spirit, and then that's what's going to give you your kind of main effect and your kind of define your power for that fight.
Yeah.
But then it'll also have either 1, 2, or 3 extra slots that you can put the support spirits in.
So kind of an idea of what that does. Vulpix, if you equip the Vulpix spirit, you start every game out with a Fire Flower. Which is awesome. I like the idea that you can start out a game with like a particular item. And I think with Eevee, if you had the Eevee spirit, you start with the Tanuki tail. Is that right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I don't know if that's the Eevee spirit or that was just the effect of the Eevee one in the fight that we had, but it would make sense. There's there's going to basically be a spirit for probably every item in the game.
Yeah. And then Guardian, so I'm looking at the Guardian one. It decreases damage taken from melee weapons, kind of like the Guardian. Snorlax reduces the effects of strong winds. I like that spirit. That's a cool one. So that stupid, what is it? That gust of wind item?
Yeah.
I call it the reverse vacuum. That can finally just get out of there.
That terrible thing that won you one of our matches
yes,
that we played.
And I have footage of that, and I can't wait to show it.
Yeah, I know.
But again, spirit mode is really cool. I like the idea that you can capture these. I like just how difficult some of these are. And then once you essentially defeat one, it kind of opens up this mini game, and that's going to show up on the screen here in just a minute. The mini game is really cool. So the spirit is essentially surrounded by this barrier, and the barrier has a small chunk that's taken out. So your goal is to essentially be as quick as you can and press a button very quickly once the gap is kind of in line with your cannon. Do you remember what the cannon's called? I can't remember.
Honestly, no. I wouldn't be surprised if it was something simplistic like Spirit Shooter, but I can't remember for the life of me what it's called.
I'm going to see if it says it anywhere here. Shield Spacer?
No, the Shield Spacer and the Sluggish Shield are extra items you can use. Shield Spacer opens up the gap more, and then the other one slows down its rotation speed to make it easier to shoot.
Got it. I mean, overall, it was not a difficult process to capture these, but I would imagine like the legendary spirits are going to have like much smaller gaps. So you have like one of two options. Either A, if you miss and you hit the shield barrier, it actually kind of knocks a hole in it. So that the next time you go back and let's say fight that spirit, you're going to have like double the real estate to try to capture it. Otherwise, I think you can use like in-game currency, right?
To get another shot, I think so. There's also the fact that the higher the difficulty, the faster it moves too. You can notice it like for sure when you compare when I'm shooting for Salsa in the footage and when you're shooting for Urbosa.
Yeah.
Salsa is a 1-star, Urbosa is a 2-star, and it's definitely moving faster for Urbosa.
Yeah. It's cool though. I like it. I like it's just kind of this neat little mini game. I hope that you can actually go back and just do this at random. I don't know.
That'll be fun.
I really like this mode.
Yeah.
Anything else on Spirit mode that you want to touch on?
All that I can know, just that it's actually legend and not legendary, but that's just
Got it.
same. Yeah, but those are the 4. But yeah, no, it's a lot of fun. It's basically everything that's in World of Light, but in a more of a collector kind of mindset.
Sure.
Whereas World of Light is about progression. This is the same kind of idea with the fights, but more about like, oh, cool, that's a character I really like. I want to get their spirit. Like, I'm gonna want to jump on any of like those franchises I really like. If I see Mother ones, if I see Fire Emblem, Kirby, like Rhythm Heaven, all the stuff that's in there. Like, you show me some Panel to Pawn stuff, I'm gonna get my lip spirit.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I think that Spirits really kind of opened things up. And I'm happy to see how many like game developers are like, yeah, use our Spirits. There's third-party stuff in there. There's first-party stuff in there. I can't wait to kind of dive in.
Yeah,
like there's like a Tomb Raider Spirit. That'd be amazing.
I don't think that one's gonna happen.
I mean, you never know. You never know.
We got Shantae in there.
I want that Tomb Raider.
Uh-huh.
All right. So that is Spirits mode in a nutshell. Before we move on to classic mode, let's talk a bit about the new fighters.
Sure.
So we had the opportunity to play every single one of the new fighters. We got Ken, Incineroar, Simon Belmont, Victor Belmont, Isabelle. Who am I missing? King K. Rool.
And I believe that's everyone that's new from when we played. First, it's Richter Belmont, by the way.
What did I say?
And then you said Victor.
Did I say Victor? I thought I said Richter.
Oh no, it's Richter.
I could have sworn that's what I said. Somebody has to reverse the tape. That's what I thought I said.
We're gonna settle this one in Smash later then.
All right.
The only thing is I don't know if we ever tried Daisy. That's the only thing. But I mean that's same with Chrom. But they were available.
Yeah.
And then we passed on Inkling and Ridley because we played them since as far back as E3. Yeah. But that said, we played everyone of the new ones since the last demo build that we got to play.
I will say, just starting right off with what's on the screen right now, we have Incineroar versus Simon Belmont.
Yes.
I played Incineroar in this case. He has, in my opinion, one of the worst recovery options out of anybody else. It's such a bizarre recovery because he kind of just shoots himself downwards.
Yeah.
Which, in my opinion, doesn't do that well. But besides that, he played pretty well. I mean, he plays like a professional wrestler. There's so many really cool things he does. Happily Candied's in the shot.
I know Isabelle.
What?
Oh, man. I don't even have a video set up of Isabelle.
What?
I can set one up.
Who are you?
All right, Happily Candied's coming in.
Hi, Ricky.
Hooray. Hi.
Hi, Happily Candied.
You?
I'll even move the camera a bit
Aww.
so that you can get in here.
How accommodating.
And yes, we are officially married right now. Check that out.
Yes. It's true.
It is. Yeah. It is true.
People were asking me how married life was in chat.
It is super duper.
That sounds completely, I don't know.
I'm drinking out of my moose cup. Because that's what married guys do.
Yes. Ricky only wishes he had one too. Look at this beautiful moose cup.
This is from Christmas Vacation, if you've never seen
what?
it.
Oh no, I've seen it.
I won this in a little like gift raffle last year, and it's my favorite cup ever.
Well, there you go. But now you have to share it.
I might.
But
besides that, Incineroar was fun to play. I've never really been one to main Pokemon in Smash. I know Happily Candied here mains Pikachu.
Pikachu was one of my mains
I'm sure
at
Isabelle's
the very beginning. Ness was my biggest main, but before I could unlock him in the original Smash, I would use Pikachu.
Yeah.
And I love that one.
We do have right here on the screen right now Incineroar's Final Smash, which is kind of epic. I'd say it's one of the most cinematic Final Smashes we have in the game. King K. Rool also has like an absolutely asinine Final Smash. But it's cool. I really like how he has this professional wrestler type thing, and he just absolutely destroys his opponent. But besides that, my only complaint with Incineroar is his recovery. And you played in this one, Simon Belmont. I did not get the opportunity to play as Simon.
Ooh. Yeah, no, I played a lot of Simon and Richter, but before I get on to them, for Incineroar, I just want to say that there is some cool stuff with his side special. Like once the ropes are up and he's thrown someone at him,
Yeah.
he's effectively like nothing can knock him back. I noticed that. There is one, I don't know if it's this match, but there's a time where I get caught and I think it's one of the Belmont's holy water things, like the Pillar of Fire.
Sure.
But it doesn't knock me out of like Irish whipping someone into the ropes and trying to do the kind of like the follow-up attack, which is really cool. I feel like there's a lot of potential with that. And Incineroar I liked playing a lot, which is like I like characters with personality.
Yeah.
He grandstands like the whole fight through and I love it. He's like a perfect heel for this game, but it's just one of those things where I still wish I wanted to.
I love how you called him a heel. I like the wrestling terminology you throw in there.
Yeah, I mean, like I wanted Decidueye for this game if it had to be any Gen 7 Pokemon, but with how they've done Incineroar, I'm aboard to like give him a try. Like, I mean, I did give him a try, but play him a little bit more, see if there's something there for me.
Ricky, you're the one
yes.
who sold me on Incineroar. I was very upset about his inclusion in the game.
Yeah.
Until you explained why he was a good fit for the format and everything.
You just wanted Geno.
Yeah.
No, I was talking about Pokemon. I was like, there are so many other Pokemon that are more, to me, seem more fitting. But when you described how he is important to like more of like a wrestling type of like fighter,
yes.
and I was like, that makes complete sense.
I'm on team no more Pokemon in Smash. I've always been. I'm not a fan.
They're gonna keep coming.
I'm really not a fan. I mean, we have Pokken Tournament for Pokemon fighting. I don't think we have to like shoehorn a new Pokemon in every single Smash game, and that's going to make some people upset. But I don't want any more Pokemon. Incineroar is like my least favorite addition to this game so far. But
I mean,
Papa Sakurai, I appreciate that you added him. I really do. So don't get upset with me. Like, this isn't me criticizing Papa Sakurai. This is me just saying.
Are you laughing at your use of Papa Sakurai?
I like calling him Papa Sakurai. This is just me saying he's not my favorite. My favorite is coming up here in a minute, but I'm going to let Ricky talk a bit about Simon Belmont.
Sure, yeah. So Simon and Richter, they're interesting. So there's so much of like a build-up to almost all of their whip-based attacks, like the long-range ones, that you have to really plan about it. And the coolest thing about that to me, though, is how kind of accurate that is to Castlevania, at least the classic ones, where it's like, oh, your jump arc is really, really bad. You have to commit to any jump you make, to any action you make. So it's cool in that sense. And then to supplement those dead angles that the whip can't reach, you got the axe, which the axe had a lot of power behind it. I'm surprised with how much knockback it does. Yeah. The cross is really good at controlling space because it's just so slow moving
too. From what I saw,
I'm a Ness main, and I like PK Fire is something that I'm really used to. So having that with the holy water in a way, and it comes out at such a weird angle. Yeah. I really enjoyed that too. Their recovery is pretty bad too, though. Like it's just some uppercut, but they also have kind of the added edge of they can use their whip normals to latch on to the stage. Like at the least, your forward air latches onto the side of the stage, and you have a tether recovery right there. I didn't get a chance to test if it happens with other whip-based attacks. I did kind of give it a shot, but they're pretty good. Like the power is evenly distributed across the whip. I was expecting like, oh, I need to hit exactly with that ball at the end of it, but it seemed like I could just do work with the whole thing. And I mean, you get to just hold the button and do the weird little, like, shake the whip around.
So that's
thing.
What I was going to ask you next. I didn't see that. Did you have the opportunity to, like, have, like, the full degree of motion on the whip like you do in standard Castlevania?
It's not, like, full degree of motion, but you can just hold the A button down, and then you just get to, like,
I'll take
whatever that
is.
That's
good.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
I think at the very beginning of the fight where I'm Richter and you're me fighter, it happens. Okay. Like I test it out real quick before we start fighting, something like that.
So I'm gonna jump into the next one here real quick. I want to give an audio warning right off the bat. I have to really quickly mute this video right as it goes on, so you might hear kind of a loud, like Super Smash Brothers-esque sound here in just a moment when I swap videos. So keep that in mind. You might hear that. Ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And mute. All right, I think it wasn't that loud.
It's pretty fast.
Next up, so my wife doesn't cry.
You have to appease not just me, but those in chat.
That's fine. I'm good with this. Yes. We have, who is this? Richter Belmont, Isabelle, Snake, and King K. Rool. In this one, I think I'm fighting as King K. Rool.
Yes.
Lauren is fighting as Isabelle.
Obviously.
Yep.
I can't remember who you picked on this one.
I was Richter, and then a fourth person that wasn't affiliated with us was Snake.
Okay, was that the guy who was apparently a big Smash fighter that I was unaware of?
No, because I wasn't.
No.
Because we weren't with him.
And we didn't record those.
Who was that, by the way?
Nairo was recording that footage. Yeah.
So I got to take on Nairo, and I beat him one time. I didn't beat him. I didn't beat him. I knocked him out one time, and then he destroyed me every other time.
For the record, everyone, this was in a free-for-all match with items on various stages.
Yes.
So, I mean,
a win's a win, Ricky. No, I knocked him out once.
My favorite part of that was you didn't know who he was.
I had no
idea.
I
know. But you didn't know who he was, and you got so happy when you found out after he left and people told you who he was.
Because I knocked him off the stage once. I suck at Smash for the most part. Oh, here's the part where I have the that amazing weapon that that you love so much.
You love so much.
Okay, so again, I'm going to really quickly discuss King K. Rool in here. He's my favorite new fighter. He is a big boy, but he has so much flexibility to him. He is, in my opinion, he's probably the most overpowered character we have in the game so far. And his recovery is just so big. It's like the biggest recovery I've seen out of any of the newcomers so far. And I'm hoping that... Oop, let me go ahead and rewind this video.
Oh, it's not a loop?
Yeah, I forgot to set this one to a loop.
That's okay.
I'm hoping you can see his recovery. He has this helicopter very similar to what Diddy Kong had. Diddy Kong had a jetpack. But
yeah, no, it's from Donkey Kong Country 3. Yeah, he's got this little helipack thing.
But so number one, if you want to recover, it's awesome for recovery. But number two, if you're using it when your opponent's airborne, you can just knock him right off the screen, which I've done several times, I think, in this video. It's an amazing weapon. It's an amazing recovery option, and I absolutely love everything about K. Rool. He is, again, my favorite character I think that we have out of all of the newcomers, and I'm going to use this guy like crazy. But anything else you have on King K. Rool? I mean, he has like this vacuum cleaner gun that can suck the characters in and like completely like blow them away.
No, it's the blunderbuss. That thing was awesome. Right, so it fires the cannonball, and then he can hold it out, and you can either try and suck up the cannonball again, or you can suck up fighters, which I think is how you KO me in this fight.
Yeah.
But it's so he's got that. His normals are kind of slow and short ranged, but they hit like a truck.
A plank.
Yeah,
like
he's just. I think that's his up smash, or yeah, it's something like that. But he hits really hard and KOs really early. And then he's got kind of like latent super armor with his stomach, but it like has to be during certain attacks that he can blow through stuff, I think.
Yeah.
But he was a lot of fun to play as. I agree with that. He's not my favorite of the newcomers. I think that might be Isabelle or Inkling.
Sure.
But with K. Rool though, like heavyweights used to be so poorly represented with the game. Obviously that's changed. Like Brawl did a lot for that, but K. Rool is like right up there with like Bowser as far as being just a super heavyweight character that's fun to play as.
Now, did you notice? So I think in this level, if you get gold, does that like amplify your attack?
I think so. It also like you're effectively invincible to knockback and damage. It's like almost like getting a star. It's been a while since I fought on Golden Plains.
Because I noticed when I like got you into the blunderbuss and shot you off, you were at 60, and I knocked you out at 60. So I'm thinking that if you have like the gold coins, it has to like amplify your attack.
Maybe, yeah, it must.
But that's King K. Rool. We already kind of talked about Simon. Richter is an Echo, so I would imagine that he's going to be very similar. Yeah, any differences that you could see?
I didn't find any differences as far as how they play. Like, the color of their fire is different. Yeah. Obviously, they have different quotes and animations for, like, taunts and stuff. But as far as how they fight, nothing was immediately apparent to me that would differentiate the two. Nothing like between Lucina and Marth, how damage works out on her and stuff like that. So, yeah, they seemed very straightforward as Echoes, but I prefer Richter over Simon.
I'm going to get a video just for Lauren here.
I thought you already put one up.
So Isabelle's on the screen, but she gets knocked. I mean, you died pretty quick.
I know. No,
you died really quick.
I am not afraid to tell people and let people know that I am terrible at Smash. I enjoy it. I have a good time with it, but
I'm gonna get a video where Isabelle owns. So again, you might hear some loud noises here for just a second. Okay. I think I muted it pretty quick.
Yeah, you did.
So I'm gonna put this on the screen. This is Isabelle versus King K. Rool. Again, this was us playing at the event in New York. I think I was Isabelle in this case, and you were K. Rool.
What stage is it on? Fountain of Dreams?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm K. Rool during that one.
So this is me playing as Isabelle. Happily Candid, I'm going to give you the opportunity to discuss your time with Isabelle, any things that you liked about her movesets.
I played as Isabelle for a couple of matches, and overall, first of all, her aesthetics are beautiful and adorable, just as any Isabelle in Animal Crossing would want and expect from her inclusion in Smash. Everything about her from head to toe is adorable, including all of her outfits. A very notable detail that I really liked was when she floats, 2 little bunny balloons pick her up, and I believe they can be popped too. And that was something that was extremely iconic of Animal Crossing. It's so fitting for her, and it's like she's held up on a little swing and you get to see her kind of like floating. Something that somebody mentioned in chat, and I think this is definitely worth talking about, PK Red said that they usually main Ness, and I'm very familiar with Ness gameplay too. If you're going to go from Ness and you were talking about possibly maining Isabelle, I think that would actually be a very easy switch to make, because both of them are so lightweight.
Yeah.
And that's actually one of the things that I had a little bit of a problem with. I'm used to Ness and his way of floating, but I'm not really used to Isabelle yet. I would need to spend more time with her. So that's why I died more quickly. I think I could have stayed alive at least a little bit longer if I had been Ness.
Yeah.
But expect a lot of lightweight movement coming from Isabelle. And for me, that was my downfall. I think I need someone usually a little bit more in between, because it's not like King K. Rool, but it's on the other end of the spectrum.
Sure.
So I enjoyed a lot of her movesets, the fishing pole in particular, when you swing it out and you reel your opponent in. A great detail, and it was fun and it was quick to do, and I really enjoyed that. Also, you get to see all the other little animations, like the school bus come and it knocks out your opponents, just like you see on screen right now.
I think we had that on screen.
Yeah, it's
I
gotta rewind
that. Yeah, you do. It's a really cool and a powerful move, especially something coming from a puppy.
So this was an assist trophy, actually. So this is one of Isabelle's moves.
No, but it's fitting. It goes alongside of what comes with like Isabelle and Smash.
It's Cap'n.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, it's Cap'n, the assist trophy.
Yeah.
And that's why I love it so much, because you hate Cap'n.
I do.
Right.
I hate, he always hits on me in Animal Crossing, and
that's his thing.
I know.
He likes
It's not an attractive quality for a Cap'n in Animal Crossing.
I like it.
What tripped me up about that assist trophy is I didn't know it could jump. Like, I thought I was, like, safe when I jumped onto that platform.
The first time it just, like, kamikazed off the map.
Yeah.
Which was just hilarious.
Okay. Then he comes back, I'm like, oh, I'm fine. I jumped over the bus. The bus jumps, takes me, and like it goes on these starry trails into the sky and off to the side. I'm like, this is a magical way to die, but I accept it.
It really is.
Like, magical. Looking on the outside.
And it looks so good on Fountain of Dreams, too. I'm like, I don't know if that's an effect because it was Fountain of Dreams or just that's how Captain's trophy works, but I love that happened. That's one of my favorite little moments from the entire time we played.
Anything that happens on the Fountain of Dreams stage is magical. That is the most beautiful stage there is in the entire game. And I have to agree with you, Ricky, because you're the first one who pointed it out to me, and you're completely right about that.
So I changed the video up just a little bit more here. So we have Incineroar, Simon, Lucina, and Isabelle. I think at the end of this video, we see Isabelle's final smash, which is very, very similar to Villagers, except instead of building a house, you build City Hall and then blow it up. It's kind of messed up in its own way. I do want to point out, though, that look at how Isabelle executes this final smash.
Oh.
It's done so just flawlessly.
Yeah.
So she gets the smash ball here in a second. At least I hope so. I'm going to give it here just like a minute here. She gets the smash ball. She does this perfect backflip directly onto this guy and just destroys him. It's amazing.
She is
here we go.
Delicate and acrobatic.
Ricky, I know you can't see this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is like that weird limp smash ball
I mean,
that I like so much. So watch this backflip.
Yeah.
Backflip into Final Smash, into City Hall, and that's the game.
That's it.
Isabelle's great.
I don't need to see it. I lived it. I'm the one
Yes,
who
you
pulled that
did.
off.
Now, was the footage of Isabelle when she got thrown against the screen when she was killed by an opponent? Was
Yeah.
that on here earlier? That was the best because you see her face
I
smush
had to
against
cut
the
that part out.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah, so I mean, again, we had very limited
I know.
resources for this.
It was the cutest and saddest thing I've seen at the same time in Smash. I enjoyed it though. I actually started laughing like uncontrollably when we were at the event.
I realized this is like a tough night to do a live stream because with the leaked game out there, so many people have it right now.
Yeah.
It's hard to compete, like, not spoiling the game when people are just like, I'm spoiling the game.
New people
Right.
keep coming into the chat,
Yeah.
and throughout the entire thing, they keep asking if this is the full game and if this is a leak.
So once again, I want to point this out. This is not leaked gameplay. We were invited to an event in New York. Again, anybody new here. This is all footage that was given the go-ahead by Nintendo to use.
Yep.
So Nintendo, from what I can gather, probably isn't too happy about what's going on with this leak right now. It kind of kills the wonder and the mystique of like playing a game for the first time. My recommendation is avoid it if you can. And TJ's in chat right now too.
TJ,
no spoilers.
TJ, no spoilers.
No spoilers, sir.
Please.
But yeah, that's classic mode. I mean, that's every fighter that we had the opportunity to play. Not classic mode, standard mode. Every new fighter we had the opportunity to play. Next, we're going to jump into classic mode. Are you leaving me?
Well, I figured that I would let the pros take over now.
Have you seen me playing this? I suck.
Yeah, but you know a lot more than I do still about Smash.
Lies. Happily Candy, thanks for stopping by.
Yes, you are welcome.
Thanks.
I will see you soon, Ricky.
See you then.
All right, last up. Let's talk about classic mode. Classic mode is brought to you in part by Ice Mountain Bottled Water.
Dun-dun-dun. It's icy water.
It is delicious. So, classic mode. We had the opportunity to play classic mode as Mario.
Mm-hmm.
From what I gather, you had the opportunity to play as Duck Hunt, Mario, Captain Falcon, or Wolf. Any other ones?
Those are the ones that sound familiar. Yeah, I can't check right now.
But classic mode is what you would expect. It is the classic Super Smash Brothers experience that we've played since the N64 version. Even the one thing that I liked, I think, the most here, that is, and I'm going to see if I can kind of rewind it a bit here too. They didn't really change up the screens all that much. So when you start the fight, it's like round 3, Mario versus Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong. Super reminiscent to the N64 version of the game, which I like so much. They kept that kind of nostalgia intact. So everything was kind of just there. But there's not a lot really to say about classic mode other than the bosses. And we're not going to spoil any bosses for you tonight other than what Nintendo has allowed us to show.
But the thing you remember about classic mode this time around is the reason they specified which characters were okay to play as is because there are separate, distinct routes through classic mode. Before it used to be like, you do classic mode, you know you're going to be facing the same thing. Or it's like, you kind of have the same ideas of like, okay, now I'm going to do a two-on-one fight. Now I'm going to do a team fight. Now it's like, okay, you're going to play Mario's classic mode. It's called Let's A Go. You're going to play Wolf's classic mode. You're going to play Rob's classic mode. You're just going to play. Everyone has like a different and distinct route, and they're kind of themed. Like this detail comes from a little stream that Sakurai did at a Japanese event where he did Ryu's classic mode, and basically it puts you through the fights that are supposed to call out the original Street Fighter 2.
Nice.
So it's like you fight Ken on the Suzaku Castle, and it's like okay, yeah, this is straight up Street Fighter. Then the next fight is you fight what was it? It was Zero Suit Samus on it stage, but while Chun-Li's theme is playing. So she's supposed to be Chun-Li in that fight. I'm guessing you fight Incineroar to be Zangief. I'm guessing like there's these little bits to all of them. And I like that a lot. It kind of gives each character a chance to shine. Like in Mario's, you end up fighting all the Koopalings. You end up fighting through like familiar other Nintendo characters
Before you go on with that, I do want to point out in just a minute here, we are going to see Mario's boss fight.
Yes.
If you guys don't want to see it, I totally respect that. This is something that Nintendo did allow the media to share, so this is not what I would consider to be a spoiler. But if you don't want to see what Mario's boss fight is, tune out, because it's going to be on the screen here in a minute. We will not show any additional boss fights from this game. There are no leaks. Nothing from the leaked game, only what we were allowed to show from Nintendo. So again, in about 30 seconds, Mario's boss is going to pop up.
Yep, and it's something that we played ourselves with, like, in that allotted time. So you've been fairly warned. We understand if you dip out, and if you stick around, I think you're in for a treat.
Actually, you know what? I'm going to rewind this a bit, too. We had the kind of, like, race to the finish type, like, collectathon bonus game, too. That was a lot of fun. There's multiple routes that you can take. You can increase your score by collecting these golden little sun coin things. I have no idea what these things are.
Jason, you can't call them a golden sun.
It's a golden sun.
You can't say golden sun right now. You can't say golden sun right now.
Oh, man. I was trying to come up with an Isaac pun, but I couldn't do it.
Yeah, no, it's these little just orbs that you grab, and they give you a score. I don't know if they're currency that you can use later in the game or anything like that, but I definitely screwed up the route a couple times. But it's clear that you got to think on your feet, because it's this kind of void is coming in and trying to stop you. It reminds me of the, like, bonus stages from Kirby's Return to Dreamland.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was a lot of fun. I liked it a lot more than I think I liked other race to the finishes in the past, because it's fairly straightforward, and I really like the music that plays during it too.
Yeah. And then now, obviously, on the screen, you can see that Giga Bowser is the boss fight for Mario. This is only going to be, from what I understand, for select characters. I thought Captain Falcon also took on Giga Bowser, or did he fight somebody else?
I honestly don't know. I know Duck Hunt fights a specific one, and I know Wolf fights a specific one.
Yeah.
But I don't know who Captain Falcon fights. I'm going to guess that. Again, this is just a guess that, like, Peach probably fights Giga Bowser as well. Like, there's going to be, like, I'm not saying that everyone has a fitting and themed boss encounter, but if there's one within the characters that the game has and it fits, that's probably who they're going to fight. That's a roundabout way of saying they've thought these out, you know?
Yeah.
But it was a big surprise when it happened, but, like, and looking at it, this fight was a lot of fun to do.
This is you fighting it.
Yes.
And you made some recoveries on this that I just don't know how you made. You were at 151% when you took this thing out, and you were pretty much off the board, like, during this entire thing. So I'm very impressed with how well you took down Giga Bowser. But again, there's going to be a lot more bosses in the game, from what I understand. I'm obviously not going to talk about those bosses, but we do know that one is Rathalos, and that was Duck Hunt that had Rathalos.
Yes.
And he's obviously a boss from Monster Hunter. And then we had... What was the other one? That big robot guy.
That's Gallium, which was one of the bosses from Subspace Emissary.
Sure.
I believe Wolf fights them. You catch a glimpse of Gallium during the extended World of Light kind of preview at the very end of the last Direct. Just like how they said that Rathalos is a boss during the older August Direct. So they were just kind of covering their bases there. But it's like... It's cool that those are coming back. I don't know if more Subspace bosses are coming back, but it sets a precedent, and it's a lot of fun. And, like, I don't know how they fit exactly at each turn, but it's something that it's going to make me want to play every single classic mode run through with every single character.
Sure. I'm really excited to see just what they do. And again, there's so much other stuff out there. My recommendation for you, because I'm gonna be transparent. I know everything about the game. I've seen the leaks, and it sucks. It's one of the side effects of operating and help running a Nintendo website that you run into this kind of content. I wish I hadn't seen it, and I think if you have not seen it yet, if you can avoid the spoilers at any cost, you're gonna have so much more fun with the game. So, just that's just my word of advice. Play the game as Sakurai intended it to be played. Don't get spoiled by all the crap that's going on right now. But, again, that's my 2 cents. But that was really classic mode in a nutshell. This game was a lot of fun. Everything that we've played in the 4 hours just led me to believe, because nowadays games can be completely finished in 4 hours. It's like,
Yes.
you pick up the latest first-person shooter, you make it through campaign mode, and you're done, you know? I walked away from this experience thinking just how much more fun I can have with this game. Like, with friends, with family, going through every single one of the 70 characters. There's just so much content here, and I can't thank Nintendo of America enough for inviting us to New York to play this game and to get the experience with this, because I know we both had a blast with this. Ricky,
Absolutely.
I know you personally, you wrote several articles about fighters, about each one of these modes. We put videos up like of our thoughts and our times with each of these modes too. If you haven't seen those yet, they're on the channel. They're on our website, nintendowire.com. You can see them there. But there's a lot of really cool stuff in this game.
Yeah, I mean, we've been lucky. We got to play the first public build at E3. I got to play that same build again at other events, but this having like almost complete Smash Bros at your fingertips it's surreal. This game is just huge, and it's something I know that we've been waiting for and wanting since it got announced. Even hell, probably since before it got announced.
Yeah.
But to know that it's under 2 weeks away. We're gonna be able to we could play this together if we want. Like, it's gonna be, I want it. It's, oh man, I can't put it into words, because Smash Bros just means something more. It brings together so much. Like, I cannot wait.
Yeah.
Cannot wait for
13 days.
this to be yes.
I mean, honestly, and again, I want to thank all of you for watching this content too. Nintendo Wire, our YouTube channel, with the help of the amazing TJ, we've really been kind of founded on Super Smash Brothers. I mean, we have dedicated Super Smash Brothers shows that air weekly. TJ's puts just an immense amount of time into his Smash content. Since Smash was first announced, Ultimate, we've been putting out content 2-3 times a week about this. We're excited to do even more once the full game drops. So again, thank you for coming on this journey with us. If you're new to Nintendo Wire, I know that we're a semi-small channel, but we just crossed 65,000 subs. So if you want to help us get to that 100,000 goal, it'd be amazing if you help subscribe. If you're already subscribed, tell your friends, share these videos. It really helps us grow, and we can do even more amazing stuff like this. So I want to thank all of you for tuning into this program, for tuning into Nintendo Wire, and again, if you're new, for kind of discovering us and going on this journey along with us. But before we head out, Ricky, do you have any final kind of words for the audience here? And B, where can we find you?
Final words, pick up Smash. Honestly, if you're watching this and you have a Switch, you probably are already going to get it, but it has our glowing recommendation as I would say must-have Switch game at this point, right? I think we can say that safely now that we've played. So. Yeah. So get out there and grab it. I know we will, and we'll be playing it. We'll be playing it on this channel probably, and we've had we did tournaments for Smash 4 in the past.
We did. We had an Amiibo tournament too, and we have some really interesting things coming up. For instance, for launch day, it sounds like we're gonna have like a 6-hour stream. So it's gonna be kind of nuts. It's gonna be straight up playing Smash, and it could start as early as the day before it comes out, depending on when the Japanese copy unlocks. So hopefully just stay tuned, and we're gonna have like a lot of stuff. But where can we find you, by the way, Ricky?
Yeah, sure. I mean, you can most reliably find me right there on NintendoWire.com. But if you want a little more of me specifically, you can catch. Oh, thank you. You can catch me on Twitter at Dr. Saturn NW. That's at Dr. Saturn NW. You're going to get a lot of Kirby. You're going to get a lot of Fire Emblem. But you also are probably going to get my thoughts on stuff. Just some quick shout-outs to friends and stuff like that. It's a pretty loose channel. But hey, I'll see you there.
There you go.
Jason, where can we find you?
Oh, too many places. You can find me over at NintendoWire.com. That is one of my favorite places to be. We have an absolutely amazing team, that Nintendo Wire. We couldn't do it without Happily Candied, without Ricky, without Jennifer Birch in chat here. We have so many amazing, amazing writers for NintendoWire.com. So if you're new and you've never seen it, all of our written content is over there. You can find us on YouTube, right here on our Nintendo Wire YouTube channel. I'm here almost daily doing episodes of the Nintendo Wire tab for all of you guys, where we break down all of the biggest Nintendo news. You can find me on Twitter at Ninwire, at Amiibo News, and my personal Twitter account at AmiiboJason. Besides that, you can find me on Friendster. You can find me at AmiiboJason on Friendster as well. Is that still a thing, Friendster?
I mean, I might have to register now just for that.
You might. We're on Facebook too. It's mostly the same content you see on Twitter, but if you're more of a Facebook person, Nintendo Wire on Facebook. So there you go. We're pretty much on all the social medias. We don't have a TikTok account. Whatever that is.
We ain't got TikTok?
We ain't got no TikTok. Not yet. Somebody set us up a TikTok.
We slipping.
But there you go, guys. I appreciate all of you for tuning in tonight. Happily Candied.
Bye, guys. Thank you so much. I had fun chatting with all of you in chat.
We'll see you all very, very soon. Until next time, stay wired in.
And
Bye,
stay
guys.
fresh.
Bye.
Later.